The first thing that you want to do when you're going to add an insurance is you want to see if the insurance is already in there. The plan option has both the payer and the plan, so that's where I always start, because the payer option only has payer. So I always start at plan, and I always use my wild card because you don't know how somebody's put it in there. In work comp, for example, with the WC ahead of it, if you don't do exactly WC space Pinnacle and you just type Pinnacle, it's not going to come up.
Right.
So you always use the wild card option, and you put in your insurance and you hit search, and it doesn't come up. So then I always cut it and paste it in payer to see if Pinnacle's a payer, not a plan, and search. And there it is.
Oh, okay.
So you can see that we have Pinnacle set up. It's a work comp, so it starts with WC. It's called Pinnacle Assurance. And then the plan is just work comp. That's fine, that'll work. I don't particularly like that format because just from the plan, the Pinnacle didn't come up. If I was re-putting this in, I would probably, and you guys can do this if you want to, I would probably put Pinnacle again because that is the only plan.
Okay.
And then when you search for it, you can find it. The other thing is that the name of the plan is what prints on the claim, I think. So if what's printing on your claim is funny, it's one of these.
So you don't want it to say work comp after it?
Because then it just says work comp and the address on your claim. It doesn't say Pinnacle. I might be wrong.
I don't think that's correct.
It has the payer on it?
Yeah.
Okay. But I just think that the plan should mean something. It shouldn't just say work comp.
Right. So you don't want it to say Pinnacle work comp, though?
I don't think it matters.
Okay.
Because it's attached to the payer.
Okay.
So when the payer and the plan are the same, you end up basically with the same name twice. And the reports that Christy run off of this payer with the WC in front of it. So it's important for the payer to say WC. The plan name is not as important. I just think it makes sense to have it be something you can search for. Okay? And so if we hit modify, let's go back to United because I think that's a better example. So I can just type United and do search, but all I'll get is what starts with United, which is fine. But if it didn't start with that, then you'd want to use the wildcard. So I'm going to use this as an example, and you can see there's a bunch of different Uniteds, and this is going to be quite the cleanup project one day. And maybe, again, doing it this way is good because you can clean up your own insurances as you go. So what you should try to do with the plan name is you should try to identify that plan somehow. So you can see that this is the Choice Plus plan. And the reason that there's two is there's two different addresses. So you may find as you go that one of those addresses is valid and the other one's not. So you can inactivate it. But make sure that you do that. Actually, you shouldn't inactivate, you should merge. And by merging, all of the claims that were associated with that old address will now merge into and become associated with the new address, so that if you're running AR or doing some kind of search like that, it'll still be active. It'll still be attached to an insurance.
And I can help you with merging, or a Prima support can help you with merging.
And you want to be really careful when you merge. It's this merge button down here. You want to be really careful when you merge because you literally are taking all of the claims that are associated with one insurance and putting the new insurance name on them. So if you do it wrong or backwards, you'll have the bad address, not the good address, on all of those claims. So, and it does give you a couple warnings. It's fairly intuitive, but if you're not sure at all,
It gives you one warning. So
yeah,
you have to be very careful.
And I always stop and read it back to myself and say, okay,
Does
is
that
this
make
what I
sense?
mean to do? Yeah, does this make sense that I'm merging these claims and putting this address on all of them? So, Just make sure you do it right. And you'll see too that all of the IDs are not the electronic payer IDs. So as you go through, if you go to fix one of these or use one of these and you notice that, you can change it. And the reason that I did that, and I'll show you why, is if I go here and I do 87726, no dash, oh, search. It'll pull up all my 87726s. So if I have an insurance card that says EDI payer 87726, and I put that in here, then it's easier to select the right one. And then the M are the Medicare options. So it's easy to find the Medicare options as well. This is going to be really important as we move forward and attach fee schedules to insurance companies, because the Medicare fee schedule for the Medicare, even in United, is the Medicare fee schedule, and the rest of them are the United fee schedule. And you do attach that according to the insurance. So you need to make sure that you identify that it's a Medicare plan, not a commercial plan, or not a PPO plan. And then you need to make sure, if your patient does have a Medicare Advantage, that you're picking that Medicare Advantage plan. And then in the future, when the fee schedules are attached, you'll need to make sure that the right fee schedule is attached. You'll have to work with the posters on that one.
Does a Prima EDI have that M associated with it, or is that our own unique?
That's
Okay.
something that I did to distinguish the Medicare plans from the other ones, because they all go to all have the same EDI payer ID, but they don't all have the same fee schedule.
Okay.
So that helped. I think that'll help you pick the right plans, the right payers and plans. Okay, so let's look at. I was thinking.